Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and today we're looking at Voidfall. This is another Etsy Showcase video. It's a follow-up to the last one. This one is specifically for all the people with the retail box. Let's get rolling. Alright, so this is a follow-up to my Etsy Showcase video for Voidfall. So quick reminder, I am a co-owner of a Etsy store that makes premium board game components. The store is called BrainBucketGames. There's a link in the description. And we make a bunch of stuff for Voidfall. So I did an Etsy Showcase video kind of showing off all the different things that we make for Voidfall specifically. But I got a lot of questions in the comments about the retail box because I really focused on the Galactic Edition or the deluxe box. The retail box is this one, the standard box. So I got a lot of questions that I couldn't answer because I didn't have access to this. So I went out and bought it. So now I've got the retail edition as well. So you're welcome. The least you can do is go to the Etsy store and buy some stuff. So I'm not going to go through every item in detail like I did in the other video. You can just go watch that one. But I'm going to show you specifically how it interacts with this retail box. So everything in the retail box right now is, straight from the factory. This is how it comes. I've unboxed it and kind of put it all together, but these are the plastic bags that it comes with. There's nothing else added in here. This is, if you just open up the retail box, this is the stuff you're going to have. So first, let's get this top layer of stuff out of here. All right, so now let's take this plastic divider off. So we've got some more baggies down here, cards, hex tiles, dice, and other small components, and these are in their own little trays. So we're going to take these trays completely out. And now's a good time to mention as well, if you want to see a comparison between all the retail components and all the deluxe components, I've got another video for that. So that'll be coming out shortly. But let's focus on the Etsy stuff. So first, how are we going to pack this box? And so I'll just kind of do that as we go. So the first thing I'm going to put in the bottom is all the manuals, because you don't typically need those until you either have everything out of the box or you don't need them at all. Okay, so here's all the stapled manuals. So there's the icon sheet, the glossary, and the rule book. And I think there's an ad in here for the compendium app. This is normally the order I need them in. I don't need the icon reference sheet at all anymore. The rule book, I very rarely take a look at that. The glossary is super helpful, so we'll put that on top. And then the spiral bound compendium, we'll just overlap and put the spiral on the outside like that. This works for me. And next we're going to add the agenda tray. So there is the agenda tray. And one great thing that you can store in the agenda tray is the agenda cards. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just using the cards that came in the box. But if you had sleeves, this fits sleeves cards as well. And that info again is in the previous Etsy Showcase video. All right, so we've got the agenda cards in there, and then there's this big storage space in the middle, so we want to utilize that as much as we can too. So let's put our population dice in there. That's not quite all the dice, all the population dice in the game. I will show you when we get to it what I've done with the others, but that's most of them. All right, so here's some more pieces. Let's just dump out that bag. So let's take these Harbinger tokens. We can put those in there. And we've got Void Storms. Okay. There are 3 Catastrophe tokens. We could just throw those there. That's fine. And then 12 Trade tokens as well. I'll tell you what, we could fit these on this side. Put these here. There we go. Just let it spread out a little bit. And then just take the agenda board and put it right on top. And then here I've got the combat tiles and the tech blocker that goes on the galactic board. And they're all together, and I'll just put them in that spot there. And then I'm going to cover this whole thing with this technology tray. So that fits in right there. Next up are the house trays. So this is the technology tray. So that's going to go up in this corner. The focus cards will go on top of it. And the agenda, starting agenda tray with the fallen house cards is going to go here next to it. Now on top of the agenda tray, we've got space for these glory token trays full of glory tokens, as you might expect. Put those there. Now next up, I've got a bag of cards here, and again, this is a bag that just came with the retail standard Voidfall box, so I'm not using any special storage or anything, but this is the setup cards for solo co-op, as well as the heroic and joint focus cards and the galactic events, so it's all the larger cards. So I've got them in their plastic bag, and I'm just going to put it here, and it will fit next to the agenda tray there. And then I've also got a plastic bag here with the crisis cards and the alert deck, and I'm going to put that on top of the other cards. And then I can take the 5 safe haven tiles, and they fit very nicely right there. Okay, next we're going to put in the sector tiles. So I've got these in 2 even stacks. These are obviously the ones that come with the retail edition. They're not the triple layer, because that only comes in the galactic box, and come on, you know what we're doing here by now, right? So we're putting all this retail stuff in. So this goes here. And they fit side by side, just like that. All right, so let's get back to the good stuff. Here is I'll move this, player tray. So it's obviously the pink player in there. And again, we've got all of the pink standard focus cards, the influence board. This is where the other dice went. So we've got in each of these player trays, 1 player colored population marker and 1 standard for your outpost sector when you start. We've got the 3 civilization track markers, your player marker, 1 number 2 glory token, a couple of fleet tokens here, just 2 of them, 2 corvettes, your 14 fleet power, 1 corruption, because it's all stuff you need when you start. And I can say with confidence, if you were so inclined, if you wanted to keep these fleet tokens that come with the retail box, you sure could. And I don't even have to take these out. There's so much room. I can probably fit, I don't know, 8 of those in there. So you just leave those in there. Resource board goes on top. And I don't think I mentioned this. I'm just holding by the lid here. I don't think I mentioned this in the other video, but these do nest. They sit nicely for when you're getting everything set up, so you don't have to find somewhere else to store it. So that's pretty nice too. But anyway, there's the player tray. So we'll put 2 of them here like this. Another 2 right there. Okay, one quick thing that I forgot to mention when I filmed this originally, and I've gone back and done now. I just wanted to show a quick comparison between the fleet tokens that come with this retail box and the fleet tokens in the upgrade pack available on the Etsy store, just in terms of size comparison. So we've got the corvettes here and the corrupted corvettes here, which are, again, these are double-sided. These are the same pieces. Of course, these are not the same pieces. These are a little bit bigger if you look at the outline. We've got sentries, destroyers, carriers, and dreadnoughts. And then the dreadnoughts are double-sided for improved and basic, and same thing with the carriers. These are basic and improved, so it just changes the number of fleet cubes that they can hold, similar to this symbol down here on the original fleet tokens. And of course, all of these are single-sided, just black on the back. So I just want to do a quick size comparison there. And I suppose I can do this too. Let's just put these directly on top. Would be a good way to compare. So generally close to the same size, a little bit smaller in some dimensions, a little bit larger in others. So I think because they're less blocky, they're a little bit more flexible and allow for things like tokens, like bounty tokens, reclaim tokens, those sorts of things to fit around them during combat. So there you have it. I've got a little space on the side there. So since all the player fleet power cubes are in the player trays, all that's left is the 40 Voidborn here. Again, in a bag that came with the game, nothing added here. I'm just going to tuck that into that space. And then here we've got replacement installations from the Etsy store, and there's a bag in the bag. So we've got the one with the star bases, and then all the rest are shipyards. So we're going to take this and put that right there as well. We don't have to be too cautious with it. We got enough room. So here's the bag of corruption markers that can go in there, as well as the bags of replacement fleet tokens. There's room for guilds. Here are bounty tokens and reclaim tokens. These are the stand-ins that are blanks on the back, and then the cardboard ones are in these bags. So we're just gonna keep those as flat as we can and throw them in there. And we're nearly at the end, so I'm going to add the crisis board. Doesn't particularly matter where, but kind of helps to keep all that stuff together. And then here is the galactic board. And finally, the house mats on the top. And we're just going to try and keep those as centered as we can. They like to slide on each other. Now let's throw the lid on this. Here we go. There will be a little bit of lid lift, but not a ton. I'll show you that in a moment. So when you do this, what's not going to be in the box are your cardboard tokens. So you've got glory tokens, guild tokens, installation tokens, and your fleet tokens. And then of course we've removed the black plastic storage trays that came with the box originally. So I think it's fair to leave this stuff out because at this point you've got replacements for all these pieces already in the box. And let's see if I can pick this whole thing up so you can see it sideways. All right. So there's the lid lift. It is some, it's not none. So it just depends on what you're looking for. That would be fine for me and my shelf, but maybe that's not going to work for you and your shelf. So if that were the case, I would recommend taking out, obviously the books would be great. That would just minimize some room, but you can also take out the agenda and tech tray. Would probably save you the most space if you really had to get this lid all the way down. That would be my recommendation. But that's everything that's available on our Etsy store for Voidfall, and that's how it fits in the retail box. I got a pretty good deal on it, but I still spent $100 on a retail copy of a game that I've already got. So why don't you go ahead and head over to that Etsy store and make some purchases so I feel a little bit better about it. And since this was requested, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate the comments and just people watching this stuff, and I appreciate that you requested it. So in appreciation for that, you can use the code that's up on the screen right now. It's TFOVF Retail. That's for table for one, Voidfall Retail. And you can put that in on the Etsy store. That promo code will give you 10% off of your total purchase. Now, there was also a code in the previous Etsy showcase video that was the same discount, 10% off. They do not stack, so only one promo code is going to work, and this one will last 30 days from this video coming out. So this retail one will work for longer than the previous one. So if you want to throw me a couple bucks, I'm not going to say no to that. But I do really believe that all this stuff makes the game easier to store, easier to play, easier to set up, and just a better experience overall. So I hope that you find that to be the case as well. So anyway, you asked for this, now you've got it. So hopefully this answers your questions. If you have other questions for me though, let me know. Or if you'd like other types of videos, let me know in the comments and I will do what I can. I hope I've proved that. So at this point, if you're still here and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. Share this if you think there's somebody else who'd like to see it. Leave a like, and the comments are great, and I love interacting with you all, so continue to do that. And I've got more Voidfall content coming out in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out. Other than that, thank you for watching Table for One. Go play a game.